Hello, guys. Welcome to the True Red Devils channel. As you know, I'm David, and this is a show that I wasn't planning on doing, simply because um, I, I wanted to chill today because had a busy day at work yesterday, 14-hour shift, and I didn't watch the game, so I'm not commentating on the game. But then I saw a video about Roy Keane, Gary Neville after the game talking about the Ronaldo incident, and it pissed me off big time. And I brought guests along for their opinions because obviously everybody is entitled to their opinions. But at the moment, I am completely fuming with Roy Keane. But firstly, let me introduce people all the way from Norway, the homeland of Ronny Johnsen, best central defender ever from Norway. Henning Berg, second best central defender from Norway. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, best ever striker from Norway. Frederick, how you doing, mate?
I'm fine, thanks. How about you?
Yeah. Apart from the video, yeah. Um, all day long. And then I have Flair Arsenal. I'll welcome him along, even though he supports Arsenal. How you doing, Flair?
Yeah, I'm alright, thanks. What about you?
Yeah, I'm good. And MUFC Global. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm all good. Yeah.
Cool. So obviously, I saw the video, and firstly, I've got to say I feel sorry for Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank sitting in the middle of the Keane and Gary Neville incident. And the thing is, Roy Keane's come out and he said, well, to me, his head's so far up Ronaldo's arse. He's a Ronaldo FC fan. And yes, he made some good points. I'm not going to deny that. Paul Scholes refused to play for United in the League Cup in, I think it was 2001 against Aston Villa. But he never, in my opinion, he never did it during the game. He told the manager before the game, in the week, he didn't want to play. He mentions Eric Cantona. Now, we all know which incident this is, the Kung Fu kick. Why, in my opinion, everybody knows Cantona's my hero. I am never going to deny that. But why shouldn't have Cantona done that? He got abused, and he stood up for what he felt was right. And I'd say, even to this day, I still say what Cantona did was not that bad. Because I'm sorry, people should not be abused in their workplace. And yes, I don't condone him kicking a fan or punching a fan, whatever. But I'm sorry, but what Cantona did, he stood up for all these people that have been abused at football matches, and he took a stand. And I always respected him for that. Yeah, I don't think he should have done it. I don't condone it. I mean, I was only, I'm thinking of my age now, 8. So I was a kid, and people were like, he's got to set a good example to young kids. He set a brilliant example to me because he showed me never to back down, never to be bullied. So yeah, he inspired me. Not that he wasn't on the pitch before that. And Gary Neville is coming out and he's like, shouldn't he be punished? Yeah, Ronaldo should have been punished. And yeah, obviously he got 2 weeks' wages, just like Paul Scholes did. I think Paul Scholes probably got straight back into the team. He wasn't exiled from thingy. But in my opinion, this is Ronaldo. His ego is too big. And Roy Keane's going out saying Man United would have needed Ronaldo yesterday to come on, get a goal. Has Roy Keane even seen Ronaldo's stats this season? He's done absolutely nothing for us. Okay, maybe against Arsenal he came on and he maybe helped us get the win. But that's really the only game really where he's done reasonably well. So Roy Keane will not be watching this. I've shared it on social media. If he sees it, I don't care. But seriously, Roy Keane, if you're watching this, fucking get me on a show, whatever. Me, you, and I'll seriously. Gary Neville went quiet on you. Seriously, if me and you get on a show, seriously, you will not get a fucking word in edgeways, mate, because you are not a United legend. You burnt your bridges when you spoke shit about this fucking football club, and You are not, and how you get punditry job. Seriously, I think they only get you on to talk shit because that is all you do. You talk shit about the club that made you a player. And seriously, Roy Keane, I fucking love it if you were watching this. Seriously, Kevin Keegan's coming out of me again. Seriously, I would love it if you saw this and you arranged to meet me or get me on a show. Because seriously, Roy Keane, I've stood by. Seriously, this is fucking Kevin Keegan's speech. I've stood by for months, years where you've been chatting shit about United, and I'm seriously pissed off with you now. You claim that you love the club, but seriously, Roy Keane, your head's so far up Ronaldo's ass. Seriously, you can see what the guy had for fucking breakfast. So seriously, Roy Keane, seriously, cut your ties with this football club because you are not a United legend. You may have been a good player, you may have been a good captain, but seriously, you're not the best captain this club has ever had. People say that you are. Fuck right off. Brian Robson, Captain Marvel, he was a much better captain than you. Eric Cantona, he took the captain's armband after Steve Bruce. He may have only had it for a couple of seasons, but he was a better captain than you. He was a team player. He did not go out intentionally to injure anybody. You went out onto that pitch in 2001, waited 4 years to injure somebody, and you did it knowing the consequences. And you ended his career. I don't care what anyone says. He played again. I don't care. You ended his career. And Roy Keane, you were a fuck. And you were a shit pundit. And you were not a United legend. Okay, that's all.
Do you want to go to the boxing ring with him, or do you want to go to SDG with him?
No, there's no point in going to a boxing ring because to me, I'll go on any show that he's on, and I'll tell you what, I'd meet him in person. I don't care. I would literally have it out with Roy Keane because he is not. He pisses me off too many times. People go on and on and on about, say, Ferdinand, Gary Neville, Paul Scholes. Roy Keane is the worst. I agree. Gary Neville, I've got nothing but praise for him. Yes, sometimes he can come across a bit different, but he has his valid points. Paul Scholes is a bit iffy. Ferdinand has come out and said stuff like Ronaldo and stuff like that, but Ferdinand does also say some decent stuff. Roy Keane is just literally hatred for United. Can't stand him. I mean, no Man United captain should go out on TV and slag the club off, the structure, the youth team, the manager, the team that made him. When he was at Forest, he was a nobody, and United made him into the player that he is, the person that he is. They made him famous. He came from a small club to the biggest club in the world at that time and made him a star. And he's arrogant. He's like Ronaldo, but he's not got a bigger ego than Ronaldo, but he's just an arrogant prick. Frederick, now that I've calmed down, I don't know where Flair's gone. What do you think about the Ronaldo Gary Neville incident?
I do agree a bit more with Keane now than you do. I think I do. Keane have some fair points, and I don't hate him. I do think he, of course, was a great player. Not going too much into Keane's career on this video, but about the video, I do think that I agree with Keane that players have done so before. For me, Ronaldo should be finished, but not because of this situation, because he doesn't fit into Ten Hag's style. He was good last year, that was mentioned, but that was under Ole, under another playing style. Then he scored goals, but this season I don't think he will do because we will play another style of football, and that doesn't suit him, and then he should be leaving. And I would be hoping that we could do that as friends, because for me Ronaldo is a legend, more because of what he did the last period he was here, but still I would like him to get a fair farewell. And I do think that in some years' time, people will forget this accident and remember him for the great player he was in his first period in United.
Yeah, I mean, I've said many times over the last year, I never wanted Ronaldo because I could see he wasn't the player he wouldn't suit our style of play. And the season before he came, we got to the Europa League final. We finished second in the league. We were playing good football. Ronaldo comes in. We had to change the tactics to suit him, and we had one of our worst seasons ever. Now, I'm not blaming Ronaldo for this. He got 24 goals. I'm blaming the people who signed him. Or maybe people know I love Solskjaer. I do agree that when he left, it was the right time to go. But I also sort of maybe blame Solskjaer, and this is the first time I've actually ever said this, for changing the tactics to suit Ronaldo. Because why change a tactic that was so good for you the previous season just to suit one player? And it didn't work. It may have suited Ronaldo by getting 24 goals, but it did not suit the rest of the team. So I've said it time and time again. I didn't want Ronaldo back, and I have actually come out the past couple of days and said because of what he's done now, he's not a United legend. He burnt his bridges with me, a bit like Roy Keane, Paul Ince, Carlos Tevez. I think what annoyed me more about Ronaldo was that lame excuse that of an apology that he posted on his social media either Wednesday or Thursday. And I was like, you've not even apologised to the team, the manager. You've not even apologised to the fans that made you the player that you are. MUFC Global, what do you think about all this Roy Keane, Gary Neville, Ronaldo incident, etc.?
And what I actually think is, this is Ronaldo. He has been phenomenal for the past 20 years. And definitely there will be factions. There will be a set of people who will be for him and who will be against him and all of that. But looking at it from the footballing sense and from what is actually ethically right or what is ethically supposed to be, Ronaldo knows deep down what he did was wrong, and the Ronaldo FC or the likes of Roy Keane, who coming out to defend Ronaldo, I don't know. It's really really appalling because there is no justification to what he did. It's a team play, it's a team football, and regardless of who you are, regardless of what you have achieved, you don't work out on your, you don't work out on your teammates, you don't work out on your manager, you don't work out on the fans. Ronaldo is phenomenal and he will always be loved regardless of whatever he has done. But calling a spade, he really messed up. You don't work out on your manager, you don't work out on your players, you don't work out on your fans. It was an outright disrespect, and I think Gary Neville was trying to let us know that Ronaldo did wrong. And like I said before, Ronaldo is phenomenal and he will always be respected and loved. So Gary, in my opinion, I think he was trying to make sense in that the best option for Ronaldo could be, you have to leave the club, you have to leave Manchester United. And sadly, as painful as it might seem to him, he cannot be guaranteed games. He cannot be guaranteed to play all the games. He cannot be guaranteed to play regularly. And I think that's what Ronaldo wants. And Gary was like, if you want that kind of game time, I think you have to, it's for you to leave and probably go to a lesser club. But a club like Manchester United, who is still transitioning, who is still in the process of rebuild, cannot, you know, cannot allow a 37-year-old, fine, is Ronaldo, but regardless, we cannot cheat nature. Nature cannot be cheated and all of that. And we can see the style of play, the system, what Eric Ten Hag is trying to do, what he's trying to implement, the intensity, the high pressing, the gang pressing, and all of that. So Ronaldo cannot. The stats are actually there. The stats are out there. When Ronaldo plays, the distance in kilometers it tends to be lower compared to when when he plays and when he doesn't play actually. So the point of the matter is, Ronaldo must come to that realization that he needs to give the younger lads the chance. So I don't understand Roy Keane's perception. He started bringing out instances of Rio Ferdinand, instances of Paul Scholes. They did some kind of they did something similar to what Ronaldo did, and nobody talked about it. So the point of the matter is, regardless, there are principles, there are rules and regulations,
Mhm.
guiding a football club, guiding the way players react, players behave. And Ten Hag made us realize, even if we knew during preseason, I think Ronaldo left the stadium
Yeah.
alongside some other Diego Dallo and some players, and Ten Hag he made us to realize that this is the second time he's doing it, and there need to be a system, there need to be a structure, there need to be discipline in the squad, regardless of who you are. If you have won everything in this world, you need to follow the principle. You need to follow the guideline, the rules and regulations. And Ronaldo didn't do that. It was an outright disrespect. There's what they call the manager's tactics. Managers have their own tactics. They have their own game plan. Ronaldo
Yes.
being on the bench can be, it can actually be part of the game plan. It can be part of the game plan. We can see actually what has been happening with Rashford for some games. We've had some players coming through the bench and they decide games. Rashford has come in through the bench to decide games for us. Sancho has done the same. Fred has done that. McTominay have done that. It could be part of the game plan. So you
Martial.
need, Martial has done that too. Yes, it can be part
Even
of the game
Ronaldo,
plan.
even Ronaldo against Arsenal, he came
Yes.
on. He came on, and obviously, he did change the game. But
Yes,
I just feel that he's not good enough to start the game because it's a completely different tactic, and
that's
you
it.
need to start with the best tactics, best team, in my opinion.
Yes, that's it. And the earlier he realizes that fact, the better for him. Because at this point in time, to be honest, he's 38, and stats do not lie. The stats are out there, and any potential club. No disrespect to Ronaldo at all, but I know he's this player who keeps fighting. He keeps fighting. He keeps believing. But at this point in time, I don't think there may be any club in Europe, any top club in Europe that could actually, want to sign Ronaldo at this point. I don't think so. I don't think so. It could be maybe MLS or probably one of those Saudi leagues like we had last summer. You understand? So Ronaldo needs to understand that he needs to give the younger lads, he needs to give them the chance. He has spent 20 years of his career. He has been at the top. He's still at the top level. But trust your manager. Trust Ten Hag. Trust his antics. Trust his instinct. He comes out to tell us he's in the plan. He's in the plan. But
Mhm.
I don't know I don't know why Ronaldo keeps making the media bring unnecessary attention, unnecessary stories, unnecessary stories just all around him, which is not supposed to be. He's a top professional. He's a top professional, obviously, but his attitude was totally uncalled for. Thank God that we won the match against Tottenham. If we had lost that match, it would have sent a wrong message. And Ten Hag did the right thing by striking him. Ten Hag actually did the right thing because that will send a message across to the younger players, to the other players that are in
Yeah.
charge. And that authority stamp, that authority figure, personality, Manchester United have lacked it for a very, 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 very long time. Solskjaer has caressed the whole situation, and Ralph Ragnick came in. In as much as he tried to be brutal, but he still got what's the word? Ragnick still got scrutinized for voicing out. I think he used the word Manchester United some time ago. It needs an open heart surgery, which actually we can see or we could see in the course of the season. So having a personality like Eric Ten Hag, it shows we are actually heading into the right direction. And I'm sure the players themselves will realize that Ten Hag did the right thing, and that will boost. We saw what happened against Chelsea. That was a kind of spontaneous reaction. It's brought out, you know, they all know what happened to Ronaldo, and they trust the manager, and they were able to fight till the very end. So Ronaldo, in my opinion, trust me, he needs to get his head down and stop
Yeah.
being selfish. In my opinion,
Yeah, let's just go to the comments, and then I'm going to get Flair's opinion on it. Footmoss, Red Devil, thank you for that. Oh, clear himself. The gaming channel. Hi guys, was Roy Keane right about what he said. Maybe
I'm probably the
maybe
only one
contact-
agreeing a bit with him.
Yeah, I think this is some have said. I think we've all agreed he did make some good points, and I think that but I mean, do you agree? Do you sort of agree as well, Frederick, that he went, I don't know, a bit OTT?
Of course, he took it too far, but that's a bit of Kino's style. He wants to be controversial, I think. So
yeah, agree. The United family saying we're seeing the progress on the pitch. Sports Capital, big up Dave, thank you mate. United family, big up to the panel, yes. Sports Capital, big up lads, thank you. Sophia, big up, thank you for watching. Seriously, we need to do a show soon. I think we've been saying it for about 2-3 weeks, so yes. If you're ever free, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, I can't do, but any other day. The United family, yeah, please like, subscribe, share, especially Watford's winning again. Please like, subscribe, share. Seriously, like if you missed the beginning of it, I had a massive rant, and I literally called out Roy Keane, as I said, and I actually said to him, get me on a show with him. So yes, if Roy Keane sees this, I'm not doing this for likes. I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it to shut that man up. And I just want to know if he's got the balls to actually do it with me. Sophia, yeah, for sure. We'll link up soon. Perfect. So Flair, what do you think about this? All this Ronaldo, Gary Neville debacle.
Obviously, Ronaldo wasn't right to walk off the pitch when he did. The rumours that he reportedly refused to come on as a substitute as well. If that is the case, then that is poor. You know, there's not even a point being at the football club and being paid to be a professional footballer if you cannot play games. Like if you're refusing to play games. So obviously, he needs to leave Manchester United and he needs to go to a club where he actually wants this game time and where he can actually get this game time. And obviously, Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, you can't be expecting to get games all the time for that club. And he's 38. Obviously, that's really old, quite old to be fair.
Oh,
for a footballer,
35.
for a footballer, that's old. So for a footballer, that's old. So I think that wanting to get game time at that age in the Premier League is going to be quite rare. Obviously, he did it last season. He got a good amount of game time. He got hat-for goals, but this season he just hasn't been as lethal in front of goal as he should be.
I'm going to ask this question for all three of you. Fred, I'll start with you. Do you think that Ronaldo will retire after the World Cup? Especially if he wins. If Portugal do go on and win, because they do have some good players. They've got Bruno, they've got Dalot, they've got Bernardo Silva. So they do have the... I still won't put them favourites. I'd put them as maybe like mid underdogs. But if Portugal win the World Cup, do you think Ronaldo will retire on a high?
No, I do think if they will win it, I do think we'll go and play outside of Europe to build this brand because Mendes knows it, Ronaldo knows it. He's a brand and he can do going to Saudi Arabia, earn massive amount of money and build his brand there as well. So, but you can discuss if is retiring to go and play over there. It might be, but I do think that's if he doesn't win, he will play in Europe. If he do win, I think we'll see him playing outside of Europe, building brand and earning money.
Yeah. What about UFC Global?
Well, I don't think he's an ambitious human being, and I don't see him retiring. He actually said it in Manchester United when he came in the second time. He said he can play till he has about 2, 3, 4 years to play before he retires. And we saw what happened when I think he won an award, the best, I think, European goal scorer or something. So this award he won just recently, and he said he wishes to play many more games. I don't think he's definitely going to retire. And like the Red Frederick said, he's a brand.
Mm.
He's a brand, and it could not be in Europe, which chances are very slim. But he could actually play elsewhere. You know, he's a brand. He could play till 40. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think if he wants to be successful, he's going to have to go to, say, America or somewhere where the pace of the football isn't as good. He couldn't go, in my opinion, he couldn't even go to Manchester City and be getting game, even if Haaland wasn't there. I just feel that if City had signed him last season and they didn't sign Haaland this season, I still think that Ronaldo would still be having the problems that he's got now.
Yeah,
Flair, what do you
Guardiola, and I think Con Aguero. Aguero was about 31 or 32 or thereabouts. You know, he was still not getting regular game time. If we can all remember,
Yeah.
Aguero was getting less game time and all of that.
Yeah.
So you know, I don't think Ronaldo will see that much game time if he goes to City.
Yeah. What about you, Flair? Do you think he'll retire?
Obviously, loads of small clubs would probably take him, like the MLS and Sporting, possibly, maybe. Obviously, there was rumours last year that he was going to go to Atletico, which I don't know. I'm not quite sure, but I don't think that he will retire anytime soon. I think he's a player that will keep going, like Zlatan Ibrahimovic. They want to just keep their reputation going for as long as they possibly can until they actually need to stop. Until Ronaldo actually needs to stop, then I think he'll stop.
Yeah, I to be honest, I don't really care if he carries on. I just want him gone. Like I said earlier on, he's burnt his bridges with me, and he needs to leave. He could leave today. I wouldn't care. But he needs to go in January. I don't care where. I don't care where. I don't care how. But he needs to go. I don't care if we terminate his contract and we have to pay him off. I don't care if he goes to Liverpool, Man City on a free. He won't. But I'm not bothered anymore. I don't care. I don't care if he goes to one of our rival clubs. That's how much he's gone.
Because of how Ronaldo is now, though, you do have to say that Manchester United last season had an impact on his career right now. Just from how that they played, their style of football last season was poor. Top 7 finish. Do you not think that it put Ronaldo down a little bit?
No, I think I've said it many times before. We were signing a central defensive midfielder, and then Ronaldo came available. We stopped signing that central defensive midfielder and got Ronaldo instead. And I've said it time and time again. If we'd got a central defensive midfielder, Fred, Global, you know how many seasons we've needed the Casemiro type player, the Kante, the player, and I honestly think if we'd got him last season, I don't even think Eric Ten Hag would be in charge right now. I think Solskjaer would still be in charge because we would have got the player that Solskjaer wanted. We would have carried on playing the same tactic that got us to the Europa League final and second in the league. Yes, we couldn't see what was going to happen in January with a certain striker, name I'm not mentioning, but that's football. Whenever City play next, Haaland could break his leg and retire. I don't want to jinx the guy, but if he could go into the Champions League game in midweek, break his leg, and his career could be ended. And it goes just like that. And then City are fucked for the rest of up to January because they won't be able to buy anyone. I'm not saying the fuck because they won the league last season without a striker. But I'm just saying stuff like that can happen just like that, and you can't predict what's going to happen in football with injuries or off the field incidents. So, and people comment. The one that gets on my tits is United would have been relegated if it wasn't for Ronaldo's goals. No, it's if. And people want to say United would have. I'm going to say, well, United would have been in the Champions League this season if we had signed the CDM and if we hadn't signed Ronaldo. People want to say we would have got um, Champions. We would have been relegated if we hadn't signed Ronaldo. It's a load of bollocks because we, like I said, we changed the tactics. We changed just to suit Ronaldo, and it didn't. It affected the whole team. I honestly think if we hadn't signed Ronaldo, I think Solskjaer could still be in charge.
Can I say something?
Yeah, of course, man.
Okay. Before this Ronaldo drama, currently, I always think that you know if Manchester United was in a great shape, was in a good shape, I think it's Ronaldo would have seen the best out of Ronaldo. Last season, of course, he was great. We will still see the best of Ronaldo now. But unfortunately, we're in a bad shape. He came in when the squad was actually disjointed. There was no headway. Our midfield was horrible. Our strikers were very, very inconsistent. Our defense was in shambles. We kept conceding goals and all of that. He came into that system. He came into that kind of team, and he tried his best last season. Scoring 24 goals, like we all know. And fortunately for us, we were able to get a new manager, and this new manager now is coming up with a system which, for a long term system, which he believes will be suitable for the development of the team. And I think Ronaldo somehow I think is going to be scapegoated in that he may not have come to Manchester United, but nobody knew what's it called, Eric Ten Hag's plan, and the belief was that
Yeah.
Ralf Ragnick was going to work in tandem with what's it called, with Ralf Ragnick, but all of those things changed. Probably if Ralf Ragnick, being playing an observer role or playing an advisory role, probably he would have advised Eric Ten Hag and all of that. But Eric Ten Hag had his own philosophy. He had his own system structure already in place, and I think that is what is affecting Ronaldo at this point. If if we had a system, like I said, if Manchester United was like the I'm sorry, was like the Man City team or like the Bayern Munich team, I think we will not be having this conversation. Ronaldo will
Mhm.
score goals. If Ronaldo goes to Bayern Munich, trust me, he's gonna score goals. He's gonna be the same old Ronaldo we know. That's just the truth. If he goes to a very nice team that has a structure, that has a system, of course he will thrive in Man City. Yes, but unfortunately, I don't know, incompetent and underwhelming recruitment team. I don't know why, like why he had to come. Like when they know his caliber, his system, and well, I think I understand why. I may know why. Maybe because we needed somebody to just with that individual brilliance, and that personality, that figure to just elevate us as of that particular point in time for a short term. But now Eric Ten Hag is making us realize that long term, Ronaldo may not be the solution, which obviously is the truth. He may not be the solution. It's just for us to go to the market and get a reliable young striker who can actually press and all of that. That's what I think.
Yeah. Got a special guest that's joining us, and it is Manny. Everybody knows Manny.
Oh,
His football knowledge is off the chain.
yeah, I
Manny,
spot it.
you missed a massive rant from me earlier on. I know you don't like Roy Keane as much as me. Seriously, I would literally go and watch it back later, mate. Trust me. I'm gonna clip it and I'm gonna share it, and I'll just give you a brief. I literally called out Roy Keane, said he wasn't United legend, and I told him, get me on a show with him, and I'll fucking put him into the ground. So Manny, this was literally, I didn't watch the game yesterday because I was working. I got home from shopping today and saw the Roy Keane Gary Neville incident from yesterday, and I was fuming out. I was hitting the roof, and I was ready to come on and do a massive show. And then I calmed down a bit, and then during the show I got a bit heated again, and it all came flooding out. But Manny, what was your opinion on the Roy Keane Gary Neville incident from yesterday?
Yesterday, listen, I know that Roy Keane and Gary Neville together like to produce a little bit of magic, if you will. And obviously, I remember seeing them together at the Off the Ball Roadshow, which was in Dublin when he was on the stage talking about the ending to his Manchester United career, the Saipan incident with the Republic of Ireland. And basically, Neville was sitting over there fawning over him like a schoolboy, giggling, a girl giggling as well. And, every time Keane and Neville would try to say something which went against Keane, Keane would say, "Oh, Gary, you're so wrong, man. Ridiculous." It's as if, when you put them together, it's as if Keane's the alpha male and Neville just nods along to what he says. But I don't know what Keane and Neville said, so I don't really know what happened. Could you fill me in on what happened in that incident? I do remember Keane saying that he wasn't necessarily attacking Ronaldo, but not quite defending him. Maybe you can fill me in with the specifics.
Well, I mean, what I saw, Keane was up Ronaldo's ass, and he was bringing in the incident with Paul Scholes, Aston Villa from 2001 when Scholes refused to replay. He even brought in the incident with Cantona and the fan, and as I said earlier on, Paul Scholes didn't refuse to come off the bench. He told Ferguson days before or whatever he wasn't going to play. So slightly different. I still don't agree with what he did. And then the Cantona incident, I agree. I said 100%. I agree with what Cantona did. He stood up for all the footballers that have been bullied on the pitch by these idiot fans. And yes, I don't condone what he did, but I agree with what he did. And people going, "Oh, he shouldn't do this. He's a role model for kids." I was 8 years old. He inspired me not to take shit. So people could say he's supposed to inspire kids. Well, that day he inspired me to stand up for myself. Frederick, if you want to add a bit, because obviously Frederick saw it slightly different than me, but yeah, go on, Frederick.
Yeah, I mean, what I got out of it was, of course, they were talking very loudly, so I think it was Hasselbank in the middle tried to calm them down, but he didn't really got to the word. Keane, of course, talking about how he thought Ronaldo could come back, and Gary Neville saying that what he did is not acceptable. He needs to leave the club. You can't do this at Manchester United. And he said that if Ronaldo wants the game that time he wants, he cannot be to United because it's not good enough, and it's time for him to go.
Yeah. So, Manny, where do you stand on that? What Ronaldo did, etc., against Spurs?
I've made it crystal clear, David, that Ronaldo never really should have. I mean, it was okay for him to come back, and I thought he did well in his first season. But when it became clear that the team weren't going to qualify for Europe, and obviously, despite his output for the team, he wasn't going to get much. He should have left and should have been allowed to leave. And obviously, Ten Hag was misguided in trying to convince him to stay, knowing that I'm sure he must have known that at his age, Ronaldo was probably coming very close to the end of his career. I think he will definitely retire after the World Cup, or maybe get a few more charity-friendly games to make sure he makes history as the first player to play in 200 internationals. Because, I mean, Sergio Ramos isn't playing for Spain anymore, so Ronaldo is ahead of him, and I'm sure he'd want to have that landmark. But Ronaldo is coming to the end, and Ten Hag was misguided in keeping him. And obviously, in the chances that Ronaldo got, Ten Hag felt that he wasn't really producing as much as he wanted to produce. So he was right to, either drop him or sub him off or not give him enough minutes and just bring him on. What the big tragedy, of course, is when he came on against Everton, he did in fact score what proved to be the winner. So I don't know why Ronaldo was refusing to be. It's now come out that he was refusing to be subbed on. And again, anytime a player refuses to do that, David, it's just inexcusable, really.
Yes.
Because you do not refuse an order from your coach, even if it means coming on for just 1 minute, knowing that you won't have any time to make an impact, and the coach just wants to do it so that you can get the appearances you want. I mean, look, near the end of his Arsenal career, Martin Keown was given 1 minute substitute appearances and ended up making just enough appearances to win a medal. So he was still technically a Premiership medal winner and a member of that invincible squad, although his actual involvement was less. But again, I said, you do not refuse an order from your coach, and what Ronaldo did was inexcusable. But I want to come back to Keane. For him to say that Cantona inspired him not to take crap, wasn't Keane in the team when that happened?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Keane wasn't a child then, was he?
No, Ian, no. I'm saying Cantona inspired me.
Yeah.
Keane saying that Keane came out and said that, like, obviously Cantona's done something similar to what Ronaldo did, brought the team into dispute, etc. Yeah. But just briefly, you said about a player coming on in the last minute. I'm not sure if you watched the United Everton game, but Frederick and Global, I'm sure you did. Varane came on with a minute left. We had that corner, and he had that header that he just headed just over, and it's just like that. You could play 1 minute, and and that proves that if Varane hadn't come on, I'm not saying they would have, but they could have scored, and it just showed how important that substitute was in the last minute. So, yeah, but no, I mean, like
that's what
yeah, that's cool. But I mean, Frederick, do you remember the Varane header and how important it was?
Which game was it again?
Everton. He came on, and I think there was a corner, and he headed it back and went out for another corner, I think, and that's all he did.
That's why you have substitutions to make an impact. It's 20 seconds, it's enough to score a goal.
Yeah.
Look at Tuanzebe. Was it last season or the season before? He came on, I think Bournemouth, blocked a shot and it went in as an own goal. So different kind of impact, but yeah. And then I remember the United fans cursing Solskjaer for it, and I'm like, if Tuanzebe had done what Varane had done against Everton, they'd be praising him. Crazy, but
exactly. But listen, here's the thing. I mean, so basically, was Keane supporting Cantona, or just saying that what he did was out of order?
Out of order.
So Keane's right. Cristiano was out of order, but for him also to praise Cantona for inspiring people, that's what I'm not too why I'm not too keen on Roy, whatever, pun intended, because in his autobiography, his first one at least, he writes about an incident where back in his native Cork, he was basically defending a boy whose father owned a sweet shop and who was being bullied by some children who were much bigger than them. He basically one day accompanied that boy, and those bigger boys were trying to bully that boy to get some sweets for them. But then Keane went up to the gang leader, as it were, and punched that boy right in the face. Dropped him down. Blood was coming out, and he fancied himself as being that person who would fight and not take crap from anyone. The problem is, I think Keane doesn't realize that for all of the talk about how he doesn't like to take crap from anybody, he's the one who ends up stirring that crap at the worst of times, if you will. That's exactly what he did when he was in Saipan with the Irish team, and that's what he did with that stupid MUTV interview. And he had to, obviously, he was right to be axed from the Irish team, and he also was right to be axed from Manchester United. So, again, Keane is just basically proving that he tries to sound like an intelligent, forthright pundit, but most of the time what he says is just rubbish. And I think one of the leading Irish journalists, Dion Fanning, compared him to groundskeeper Willie from The Simpsons. You just give him a stage, everyone laughs at him.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've obviously all had our opinions on that. Obviously, the Ronaldo incident. So I'm just going to ask one more question, and then I think I'll call it a day. Fred, would you like to see Ronaldo in a United shirt again?
Yes, yes, but I do expect that he apologizes first, because what he has done is not acceptable. But I do think that he needs to come out, tell his version of the story, which probably is a bit different than Ten Hag's, and apologize to Ten Hag, to the players, and of course those fans. And then I would love to see him one last game, get his last goodbye.
Yeah. What about you, Global?
Yeah, of course, he has to apologize, because what he wrote on his Instagram page, in my opinion, is not an apology. So he has to, step up, man up, and let the world know what happened. And then he has actually respected the fans and the club at large, and then he can put on the shirt.
Yeah. I mean, I've said it already. He's burnt his bridge with me. The Instagram post was pathetic. For me, I would only accept a videoed, recorded apology. I'm not gonna. I don't think
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna accept an apology written down. I need to hear it from him, so I know it's him saying it. It's not his. It's not his PR or his secretary. I need to hear it from him. He needs to. He needs to go out, do a press conference, whatever. Apologize to the manager, the players, but most of all, he needs to apologize to the fans that made him what he is. And I'm not talking about Ronaldo FC fans, because to me, any Ronaldo FC fans watching this, you can go fuck yourselves, because you're not United fans. I don't care what the fuck you say. You support the player, not the team. Piss off. But I need to hear it from him. And I would say about any player, Rashford, Luke Shaw, Fred, if any player refused to come on the pitch against United, they would still be getting the same treatment as me, as Ronaldo. You can't do it. It's disrespecting the players, the fans, manager, everybody. I'm going to say even worse. If you do that, you're respecting Cantona, you're disrespecting Cantona, Neville, Scholes, Giggs, Bobby Charlton, Duncan Edwards, everyone mooning. Billy Meredith, you disrespecting Billy the Goat that died drinking champagne after the 1909 FA Cup final because he got pissed and he died of alcohol poisoning. You're disrespecting the dog, and off the top of my head, I can't think of it. Major. That's it, Major, the Saint Bernard dog that went missing. When we were in Newton Heath, he went missing, got found by a rich owner, and he ended up buying Manchester United. You are disrespecting that dog from 1902, I think. I can't remember the year. You're disrespecting everybody that's paved the way, because without Major, without, granted, Billy the Goat really didn't do much apart from get pissed and die. But you're disrespecting the dog that saved United. You're disrespecting the people that died at Munich. You're disrespecting the '68 team. You're disrespecting the team from the '90s, '80s, and all of these incidents paved the way for you to come and play at this wonderful club. Without Major the dog, who knows where United? Who knows if United would have even been a team? You're disrespecting the memories of all these great players that have paved the way for you to play for the biggest club in the world. And it doesn't. I don't care if you're Ronaldo, Rashford, De Gea. If you refuse to play for the team, then I'm sorry, you'll get called out by me, because you just don't do it. It's disrespectful. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on. Manny, thank you for joining us late. Thank you, Flair Arsenal. Unfortunately, he did have some technical problems, which is why he left. Thank you for Frederick. Always a pleasure seeing you. And thank you, MUFC Global. Guys, please like, comment, share this video. As I said, I want Roy Keane to see it. I don't care, and I want him to call me out, and I'll go on a show with him, and I'll make him regret what he says. That's my final word on it. So thank you, guys. But Frederick, if you want to tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, on Instagram, the Red Frederick. It's where I'm the most. There you'll find the link to my other social pages as well.
MBFC Global.
Yeah, of course. On Instagram too, MUFC_MUFC Global. It's a Man United fan page, so you can actually reach me out on that.
Yeah. And Manny, where can we find you?
Yeah, of course, you can find me on Twitter, Thangadore1981. A closer connection, you can find me on Instagram at Manny Thangadore1981. No channels of my own, but you catch me here, there, and everywhere on YouTube. I'll shout out the True Red Devils podcast. Thanks for having me on, Dave. It's always a pleasure to join you. Also, Del Boy Gunner TV, S. Featley TV, Coach's Corner with Hanno Trollip, Tony Claude Gunner TV, Up the Cherries in all departments, the Bournemouth fan channel. Also, Oris Talks Football, Football for Thought podcast with NS Sports TV and several others. And you can see me making appearances on more channels on YouTube. Love to be able to do this and chat with a few people around the world who enjoy football and sports as much as I do. And once again, I'm a little bit tired actually because I just had a marathon 4-hour stream and I just popped on to support David. But again, thanks for having me on, mate. And once again, hope all of you enjoy your Sunday. Have a good rest of your weekend. Good luck for next week. Stay safe. A huge shout out to everyone celebrating Diwali around the world, Festival of Lights. Enjoy the festivities. Be safe. Also, I must offer my tribute to Japanese former international who passed away in the last few hours due to complications from brain surgery. May he forever rest in peace. And I will just get his name right now. Yes, his name is. Oh God, Jesus Christ! I think I don't have his name right now. Shameful, but let me get.
Masato Kudo.
Yes, Masato Kudo. Thank you very much indeed, mate.
Mate.
Prayers for him and his family. I hope they will recover from this loss. Talented footballer, still had a lot to give to the game, and he will leave a void behind. So,
Only 32.
Once again, yeah. So, just goes to show that sport, like life, can never be taken for granted. We must enjoy the moments we have and make the most of the time we have on this earth. So, on that note, peace to all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'm out.
Thank you very much, guys. And like I said, like, comment, share, and hopefully see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.